interesting thing about the phone is like it's always like in your pocket, right? And it's one of those things where it's like you use the phone for everything: work, business, you know, directions, communicating with people, um, everything. And for a while, I was like trying to figure out, like, because of my new, busy, hectic lifestyle, and I'm gonna duck under because this is how tall I am. Um, and I was like, yo, I love my DJI camera, I love my action camera, I love all my cameras, and whatever. It's just sometimes I just right now the way my life is, I just don't have enough time to, edit and worry about wind noise and worry about all of these other things. And then I was like, oh, I'm gonna make an excuse. I'm starting to make excuses for myself. And I thought to myself, why don't I just use the phone? You know what I'm saying? Like I got a 16 Pro, and I always buy the better camera-esque phones or whatever it is, right? Because I'm like, yo, it's better if I get those, because I'm like, I feel like when I'm filming and stuff like that, it's gonna help. And it's like most of the time I just take pictures, and then I do FaceTime and I do everything else. But I was like, let me actually use the phone to its capability. Let me, you know what I'm saying? The audio may not be great, but they do have audio centric features and things like that you could use on the phone. And I've tried them; they were pretty good. I wouldn't overuse them because I think they utilize AI to kind of get it right. But I'm saying all of this because it's like I want y'all to start thinking about using the phone as your like go-to tool. You know what I'm saying? I know some people may not like it. I know audio is way more important than video, but just kind of, I guess you would say, change your perspective. Because like now, if I wanted to, I could just walk around with my phone as my creative device. Of course, YouTube Studio is gonna be a little different. Of course, there's gonna be lighting and audio, different things that are gonna cause. But if you kind of just shift your expectations just a little bit when it comes to this, and I would tell you one trick, and I'm shooting this in portrait mode purposely because I wanted to see how this comes out. If you shift your perspective a little bit, let's say for instance you have this fear of whipping out a camera outside, and I'm using the front-facing camera. If you shift your perspective when it comes to filming outside, you now have this thing where it's like you're walking around with your phone, you're walking around with your AirPods. And also, cool trick, if you don't want to use the shitty, I do say shitty, the audio from the AirPods are not the greatest when it comes to mic. If you put your AirPods on and turn Bluetooth off, if you feel that you are not comfortable with people seeing you film, they would almost think it almost thinks like you're on a FaceTime call with somebody, right? If you do this, now you have a starter kit to just basically record and film whenever you want. If you want to take it a step further, you could get a privacy screen protector so that people don't see your screen. There's so many different ways you can think outside the box to use your tools, you know what I'm saying? So that way you can kind of get comfortable doing this. Of course, your arm is going to get tired and things like that, but you could also set the phone down. You could also be sitting. You could do a bunch of other things. But anyway, about to jump in the car to head to work. I'll talk to y'all soon. Let me know what you think of the portrait aspect of, about to cross the street, portrait aspect. And, the audio may sound not the best, but let me know what y'all think. I'll talk to y'all in a little bit. Lights getting bad. Let me see. Here we go. I'll talk to y'all soon. I'll see you in a little bit. Peace.